This is not a story of kings and queens. It's the tale of a quiet evening, where lamplight flickers gently and sleep softly fills the room tonight. We return to a winter evening in 1810 to a forgotten village. Inside a clay-walled home where children fall asleep holding dolls, and rain hums lullabies into their dreams, listen to this story. And let yourself drift back in time. Close your eyes and just listen into a silence as deep as sleep. The lamps are still unlit. A winter evening in 1810, the sun has just set. The sky is gray and quiet. Everyone gathers near the fire for warmth. The wooden stove crackles softly to siblings sit huddled together on the cold floor, Mother says. Once the moon rises, it's bedtime. Promise? Father stands by the window holding a lantern. Steam rises gently from a clay cup of tea. No candles are lit, yet light is saved. Not spent beds are made with straw and soft cotton quilts. No one speaks. Silence fills the room like a blanket outside. The chill taps lightly on the window glass. A quiet dog curls up in the far corner of the room. Moonlight begins to slip in through the wooden shutters. A boy rests his head on his mother's lap and falls asleep. His sister stares up, whispering, "What dream will come tonight?" Mother replies, "Perhaps you'll fly on a bird's wings." Firelight dances softly on the walls. Father wraps himself in a quilt. Birdless, an old man whispers, "May everyone sleep in peace tonight?" The wind outside rustles the last of the fallen leaves. The little girl asks, "Will ghosts come tonight?" Father chuckles. Even ghosts sleep at this hour. A single candle is finally lit. Casting a gentle glow, the room becomes a cave of quiet dreams in the back. Even the hens and geese are fast asleep. Milk warms slowly in a pot near the fire. A teenager sips quietly and says, "Sleep is already here." Mother smiles and strokes his hair with love. The little brother asks, "Does the moon stay awake all night?" Mother answers, "No, dear. It sleeps too, just a little later." One by one, they crawl into bed. The night feels like velvet, soft and hushed. No ticking clocks, only breath and heartbeats. Eyes close even before the candle dims. Old family portraits sway slightly in the breeze. An old man says, "My father once slept in this room. To every corner of the house feels soaked in sleep." Grandfather dozes off, sitting upright in a wooden chair. The ground is cold. The quilts are warm. A pot of warm water sits near the stove for comfort, the girl says. "Tonight I will cross the river in my dream," her brother replies. "And I will go too. It's holding your hand." The moon casts shadows that stretch across the floor. A soft glow touches someone's forehead through the curtain. Father gently places his hand on a child's head. Mother says, "Tomorrow, we'll catch dragonflies together." The children smile as their eyes drift shut. The air grows thick with slow. Sleepy breath. Someone stirs. Slightly, it's just a sound from a dream. The straw mattress creaks under the smallest movement. The fire dims. Flickering into stillness, shadows fade slowly into the walls. A bug taps lightly on the frosted window. The girl blinks and asks, "Is it very late now?" No one answers. There are no clocks here. Sleep doesn't come by time, but by tired eyes outside. Frost forms silently on empty branches inside. Warm breath fogs the air with each sigh. A window creaks open slightly in the wind. Brother closes it gently and whispers, "Go back to sleep. The wall clock has stopped long ago." Time moves by fire and breath in this home. A mother tucks her child in a bit tighter. Birds do not chirp tonight. The trees are still. The moon hasn't yet filled the room with light, yet sleep has already arrived for everyone only. The fire glows quietly. Its heat turns the quilts warmer. With time, an old woman clasps her cold hands to her chest. The boy breathes long and deep in quiet rhythm. Mother's breathing rises and falls like slow waves, one by one. Sleep brushes across each set of eyes. The moon leaves a silver drop on the window pane. Every object in the house slowly falls asleep. Only the fire crackles a lullaby in the silence. This was a peaceful, wordless evening. No rush, no noise. It's only slow time. And this was the sleepy winter of 1810. It's still not morning. The night is only halfway through. The sun has long set. And the moon hangs high inside the house. Warmth glows from the fire. The stove crackles in a slow, steady rhythm to siblings. Huddle close beside the hearth. Mother says, "Sleep when the moon climbs, promise me." Father stands by the window. Lantern in hand, steam rises calmly from a cup of tea. A single candle flickers with soft light shadows dance on the wall in the fire's glow. The old wooden floor creaks with gentle tremors. A firefly circles around the candlelight straw bedding, and cotton quilts lie ready for sleep one by one. The children close their sleepy eyes. A boy rests his head on his mother's lap and dozes off. His sister whispers, "Where will I go in my dream?" Mother says, "Tonight you'll fly on soft wings." Father sits in silence. Staring into the flame, an old woman looks toward the window. Without a word, she softly murmurs, "May sleep be peaceful for all tonight." Clothes dry beside the stove. Carrying the scent of smoke, a dog lies curled at the foot of the door. The girl's cheeks have turned red from the cold. A spoon drops with a clink, yet no one wakes. Moonlight slips through the cracks in the window. The little brother mumbles, "I'll cross the river in my dream," his sister replies, "and I'll come too." Holding your hand, Mother smiles gently and strokes his hair. Father slowly tucks the quilts tighter around them. The fire's light dances across the wooden walls. Even the rag doll in the corner seems asleep. The little girl smiles beneath the quilt, dreaming of birds. A woven mat shifts slightly from the breeze. A small home, filled with deep, gentle sleep. Wall portraits fade softly into shadow. No leaves rustle outside. The night moves in silence. The air inside is thick, but calm and warm. One window is cracked open. Letting in the cold, a brother gets up, closes it, and whispers, "Go to sleep." The old wall clock hasn't ticked in years here. Time moves by breath and fire. A blanket lies crumpled on the floor. No one picks it up. A cane rests cold by the stove. The boy breathes softly. A quiet rise and fall. Mother listens to the silence with her eyes closed. To siblings lie together beneath the quilt. Their breath begins to rise in a slow, united rhythm. An old man sits still, eyes closing into dreams. His lips remain still, but a tune hums in his mind. An ant crawls slowly beneath the bed. The child smiles in sleep, whispering, "I'm flying." Mama, she places her hand on his chest, eyes still closed. Shadows flicker softly across the walls outside. The moon hides now and then behind clouds. A pair of shoes lies silently near the bed. The lantern dims, the oil nearly gone. Everything in the house is quiet. Still some walk in dreams, others fly. No one calls out. A wooden chair rocks slightly in the breeze. A small hand holds a doll, even in sleep. No sound comes from the far room. Sleep blankets it. Two faint red embers glow near the hearth. Water in a clay pot has cooled beside the fire. Father has lain down, pulling cloth over his feet. An elderly woman sleeps with cold hands folded on her chest. Moonlight peeks through the open window. An old home. A quiet night, a family asleep. Sleep wraps them all in one long breath. Children cross rivers in dreams. Without a sound, a toy wrapped in cloth lies near a cheek. A soft drip, maybe the start of rain, but no one stirs. The sleep doesn't break. This was a peaceful night in 1810. The sun has risen. Light slips through the window. A chicken cries out in a long morning call. The ashes in the stove have cooled. The fire, long gone. Sleepy morning light rests gently on the wooden floor. A boy opens his eyes but doesn't sit up. Mother walks slowly. Carrying an earthen pot, a soft breeze enters through the open door. A bird chirps outside the window in a flat rhythm. The doll in the corner still lies, just the same. An ant crawls from beside the bed to the floor. Father wakes and stares quietly out the window. The two siblings rub their eyes. Still silent, their hair is messy. The quilt has slipped down. Mother asks, "Did you sleep well last night?" The girl smiled and said, "I was flying in my dream." Her brother said, "I crossed the river in mine." Mother replied, "This morning feels so calm." Fresh logs are placed in the stove. Fire starts anew. A line of smoke rises to the roof. Tea is warming in a clay pot. Cold mist still hangs in the yard outside. A duck flaps its wings. A pot tumbles behind it. An old man coughs and rises from his wooden bed. He says, "I slept well, no pain in the back today." A girl walks toward the pond, balancing a pot. Her shawl floats in the breeze behind her. Everyone sits near the fire. Holding warm tea socks left to dry or reheated beside the fire. The boy's cheeks are still red. But now he's bright. His sister prepares to play with her doll. Mother touches the boy's forehead with cool water. And he smiles. A tin box opens in the back room. Biscuits come out. Father says, "We have to get to the field early." A goat pulls at its rope. Trying to enter the yard, the back door is opened. Gently with a soft creak, an old woman walks in and settles by the stove. She says, "Without fire, I'd still be shivering." An ant silently climbs onto a clay plate. A boy heads behind the house with a stick to release the chickens inside. The light grows stronger by the minute. A little girl opens the window and looks outside. She says, "Mama, flowers bloomed on the tree." Mother replies, "Yes." "Birds will come at noon to sing." A rabbit sits quietly at the corner of the yard, grandfather says. "It's been so long since we had a morning like this. No footsteps echo on the wooden floor, but all are awake. Teacups grow cold. One by one cup breaks." But no one is angry. The girl brushes her brother's hair under the rafter. Light, light, and soft wind dance through the house. A bangle falls beside the bed. Dry leaves are scattered outside the door. A bird lands on the window and suddenly flies off. Smoke from the stove disappears into the sky, Mother says. "I'll set the curd in the pot today," grandfather lifts the small boy into his arms. He says, "You've grown so big already." Sunlight lands on dewdrops settled on a leaf. The girl asks, "Can we go play in the field today?" Mother replies, "First finish your morning chores." An old umbrella is picked up from the corner again. A duck walks in and pauses mid-step. An old cloth swings gently from a bamboo rope. Everyone is busy now. But there's no rush. Faces that just woke from sleep. Carry peace. Someone in the backyard gathers sticks for firewood. Father says, "There was once a time of only night." Mother says, "Now we have light, but we haven't forgotten sleep." The little boy says again, "I was flying last night, really." Grandfather laughs. "Don't leave the kingdom of dreams." Boy, everyone slowly returns to their work. Sleep is past, but its softness lingers in the air. The children rush outside, ready to play. Shadows shrink under the growing sun. Some hum a tune as they head out to work. An ant crawls out again from beneath the quilt. Milk is set in a clay pot. Placed under the sun, morning arrives beyond sleep, gentle, slow, and soft a dawn from the year 1810. They're touched gently by rest, and this morning begins in a quiet, sunlit room. The sun now hangs above, bright light flooding everywhere. Children played, laughing in the field, chasing each other. There is no dew on the grass, but the ground burns slowly. A hen runs off toward the shade of a nearby tree. A little girl sits at the edge of the field. Doll on her shoulder, a ball rolls and stops by a pile of straw. The sister says, "Come sit in the shade. The sun is too much." Her brother smiles. The sweat drips from his brow. An egret walks slowly along the canal's edge, far away. A flute plays. It sounds like a wedding. The breeze has stopped, and the leaves are silent. A crow lands gently on a branch. The girl walks. Twirling a dry leaf in her hand, the boy sits on the ground. Too tired to run, the distant flute grows clearer, floating through the air. An old man sits beneath a tree, unable to open his eyes. A worn cloth bag rests on his lap. A crow rustles a branch with a soft sound. An ant crawls slowly up his hand. He says, "In this heat, sleep comes easily." The brother and sister sit beside a pile of straw. The girl says, "My eyes are filling with sleep." The boy replies, "Let's lie down for a while. No one will see." They make a soft space in the straw and lie down. A cow walks past, its bell ringing faintly. Someone sings far off in the field. Softly, leaves cast slow-moving shadows on the girl's face. Her eyes are closing. She can't quite look anymore. The boy lies on his side, breathing in the scent of earth. A butterfly lands beside him, its wings folded, sunlight on their backs, but the body feels heavy with sleep. A kingfisher watches the pond nearby. Someone walks in the distance. No footsteps heard. A small breeze stirs, and the shade on the straw shifts. A cow moves, but they keep sleeping. A rope sways from the nearby tree. A shadow falls like a bird onto the straw. The two siblings breathe in unison. Dust from the morning still clings to their clothes. A squirrel climbs down the tree slowly. The old man beside them smiles. He says, "At this age, sleep comes with the wind." A half-sleep, neither awake nor fully gone. Their bodies are tired from the heat. Minds are quiet. There's not a single cloud in the sky. A bee hums, circling lazily inside the straw pile. Soft breathing echoes. The siblings drift into a kind of shared dream. No one calls them. No one searches. The shade from the tree moves bit by bit. A spoon falls. Far away, no one reacts. Even the birds seem quiet, as if we must sleep to a duck walks slowly from the water into the field. A leaf lands gently on the boy's cheek. He stirs slightly, then lies still again. The girl keeps her hand on her doll's face. A spider descends from the tree. Touching the straw, the old man turns and murmurs, "Let them sleep now." A feather falls from a branch onto the straw. The wind is still only breathing, makes sound. A grass flower trembles. Touched by nothing, the girl suddenly smiles. Perhaps she saw something in her dream. The boy lays his hand beside her like a little blanket. Their breaths rise and fall in quiet rhythm. A crow flies past them silently. Water sounds gently from the canal nearby. The straw pile still holds sleep inside it. The sun begins to dip slightly westward. A kite floats far away in the bright sky. Someone whispers, "Are they asleep?" No answer comes. No one calls out. Only a lazy afternoon standing beyond time. A field wrapped in sleep. Shadows beneath summer heat. The two siblings lie still, calm and wordless. This was an afternoon wrapped in sleep, in the year 1810. The sun slowly disappears behind the trees. The golden light turns soft orange. A breeze stirs the pile of straw gently. The boy is the first to stir. Rubbing his eyes, his sister lies on her side. Still holding the doll, they stay quiet. There's nothing they feel like saying. A bird flies across the pink sky. The sky is no longer blue. Now washed in gray and amber, a cow moos in the distance, calling toward home. They sit up slowly, brushing straw from their clothes behind them. The smell of smoke drifts through the air. The boy yawns, opening his mouth wide. The girl lifts her arms toward the sinking sun. They begin walking through the field, bare feet touching sun-warmed earth. A crow caws. Another replies from a nearby tree. Their shadows stretch long across the field. A woman takes clothes down from a drying line. A young boy runs past with a stick in hand. The two children say nothing, walking in silence. The light is slowly fading across the land inside. The clay stove crackles with fire. Grandfather sits on the porch with a cup in hand. He nods as he sees them, but says nothing. The children walk quietly into the house inside. The firelight spreads a warm glow. Orange light rises from the clay stove. Mother stirs a pot with gentle hands. She says, "You woke up at just the right time." The girl smiles and places her doll in the corner. The boy sits cross-legged near the fire. Someone sets down plates beside them. The smell of steamed rice fills the room outside. Sky turns deep blue. Then violet, one star appears. Trembling in the sky, the chickens are silent now, settled in their coop. A candle is lit by the window. Its flickering light casts long shadows. A dog barks somewhere far away. Mother hums softly as she tends the pot. The boy's eyelids grow heavy by the fire. The girl wraps her shawl tighter. Holding her doll, a gust of wind shakes the bamboo fence. Grandfather clears his throat, then grows quiet. They slowly begin to eat, speaking very little. The mud floor feels cool beneath their feet. Someone hangs a lantern near the door. Its light dances on the wooden beams. The boy yawns again. His head tilting, the girl whispers, "Let's go lie down now." They walk toward their mats near the back wall. The bedding is laid. Blankets folded beside. The girl places her doll gently near her pillow. The boy lies down, watching shadows move. The candle flickers softly nearby outside. Crickets begin their nighttime song. The moon has risen half full. Pale and calm, the house is silent. But full of warmth, the girl pulls the blanket up to her chin. The boy listens to the leaves rustling in the breeze far away. The flute plays again now. It sounds like a dream. Half-remembered grandfather enters quietly and sits near the fire. He adjusts the flame, then sits in stillness. He stares into the fire, eyes fixed above. The stars multiply slowly inside. Sleep thickens like fog. The girl turns once and falls. Still the boy closes his eyes with a faint smile. The old man stands and murmurs. They've already gone. He steps back outside into the cool night. The house remains quiet. Only breathing can be heard. The light is slowly fading, shadows disappearing. The wind pauses, as if honoring the sleep. A house filled with breath, fire, and waiting stars. And so passed a silent night in the village of Uriker in the year 1810. The night is very deep. Silence fills the room. The candle is slowly burning out. The boy lies curled on his side. The girl still has her hand on the doll. The fire in the stove has long gone out. The pieces of wood beside it are cold outside. The wind has turned chilly. Bamboo walls rustle softly. Grandfather lies on the veranda. One hand on his forehead, he is awake, but his eyes are closed. A nightbird's call breaks the stillness. A dog barks once. Then fall silent. Trees along the riverbank sway gently. A star falls from the sky. Moonlight enters through the thatched roof. The boy twitches once in his sleep, then settles back into stillness. The girl suddenly clears her throat. Her doll falls from her arm. She reaches out and picks it up. Again. The room holds the faint scent of dry earth and night. Ere grandfather opens his eyes, he looks out toward the window for a while. There is no sleep in his eyes, only thought far away. A horse walks with slow, dull steps suddenly. A branch snaps somewhere. No one wakes. A rat scurries under the floor. Tapping sounds. The boy mumbles something. But it's not clear. The girl breathes steadily, evenly. Outside, the wind grows just a little stronger. Dry leaves lift from the roof. Grandfather slowly sits up. He drinks a mouthful of water from the pitcher. He makes no sound in the next room. Mother is asleep with the little ones outside. The crickets have gone quiet. Only silence remains now. Grandfather tries to cover himself with the quilt. He lies back down slowly. Old memories return to him. He remembers a night like this. The day he became a father. The sky is deep, without a single cloud. The moon leans slightly west inside the room. Everything is hazy and faint. A wild cat walks softly on the roof. The doll's shadow flickers on the wall. The girl suddenly whispers. Amma then says nothing more spoken in sleep. The boy turns his face to the side. His breathing is calm and steady. Grandfather closes his eyes again. The edge of the blanket shines silver in the moonlight. A cloth sways gently in the breeze, near the window, far away. A set settles over trees and fields. Sweat gathers lightly on the boy's forehead. The girl's lips move. Perhaps she's dreaming. An owl flaps past the house. A cow stands up inside the shed. Then everything goes still again. The walls of the house grow cooler. The clay floor feels like a river of quiet beneath the blanket. Stories, toys, and questions have all gone still in the backyard. Shadows deepen. Grandfather doesn't move anymore. A cricket begins its song again near the tree inside. Breath makes the only sound. A peaceful sleep. As if something is standing guard, the entire village seems to exhale one long breath. And this was the midnight. In the village of Ururker, on a simple night in the year 1810, morning light hasn't fully arrived. The sky is grayish and pale blue. Fireflies have disappeared. The cloth beside the wall sways gently. A rooster crows in the distance. The girl slowly opens her eyes. She rubs them, turns to look beside her. The boy is still asleep. His breathing is deep and slow. The girl sits up, holding her doll. The room is still dark. Only a little light slips in through the window. The firewood near the stove lies as it was. Grandfather is still asleep. Face turned down, the girl quietly folds her bedding. The boy still has sleep on his face. She walks slowly to the doorway and silently gazes outside. Dew has settled on the grass in the yard. Two small birds are walking side by side on the grass. Light is touching the tops of the distant bamboos. The village is slowly waking. A woman walks with a pitcher in her hand. Her footsteps echo lightly on the earth. The sound of cowbells drifts in from afar. Smoke rises from someone's early morning fire inside. The boy yawns. He slowly sits up. Sleep still clings to his eyes. He sees his sister and smiles softly. She smiles too and says, "You're awake?" The boy nods. Light begins to fill the room. Slowly, Mother steps out from the next room. Sleep in her eyes, a smile on her face, she says, "Come now, the morning work must begin." The girl nods in reply. The boy puts his feet on the cool mud floor. Grandfather sits up. Straightening his shoulders, he says, "The morning air feels so sweet today." Amina calls from outside. The firewood cracks with soft pops. A bucket is pulled in from the pond. Its chill makes their hands tremble. The girl places her doll near the doorway. The boy splashes water on his face. Eyes wide open, Mother takes down the rice pot from the stove. Steam rises in a soft cloud. Children begin to cry in the next room, Mother says. "Go check on them." The girl runs to cradle the little one. The boy closes the lantern and sets it aside. Shadows in the room fade with light. A cow tugs at its rope again and again. Grandfather walks into the yard. He steps on the grass and says, "It's all wet." The girl feels the dew under her feet, she says. "It's cold and soft beneath my toes." The boy looks up at the roof. A white dove is perched there. The sky is becoming completely bright. A single cloud drifts across slowly, the girl says. "Today feels like a long day." Grandfather says, "That's how it feels in early morning." The boy says, "Last night's sleep was very sweet." Mother smiles and says, "Only a mud house gives that kind of sleep." A plate is placed near the fire-steamed rice. Salt and green chili. They sit on the ground to eat. Light now fills the entire house. Leaves outside sparkle in the sunlight. From far away comes a Vina-like sound. Perhaps someone is preparing for a wedding. The girl brings her doll back again. The boy asks, "Shall we go to the field today?" The girl nods in reply. Grandfather says, "Go before the chores begin." And so the morning fully arrives, and a new day begins in Eureka Village in the year 1810. They finish their chores and step outside. They start walking slowly. Toward the field, the path is soft. Footprints remain behind. Raindrops land on their shoulders, heads. In cheeks, the boy draws patterns in the mud with his fingers. The girl hides her doll inside her sari's edge. A goat walks slowly. Disappearing behind a tree in the distance, someone runs sowing paddy seeds. Rain surrounds the entire field like a soft veil. Birds call and flutter down beneath the branches. A crane stands still, soaked in the water. The sound of rain has stilled everything around. The ground beneath their feet is quiet and cool, the boy says. "My feet are sinking in the mud," the girl says. "My hands are freezing." They stop beneath a tree for shelter. Grandfather joins them, shoulders soaked. He says it's best not to walk too far in this rain. A farmer passes by them, a spade on his shoulder. Clothes dripping, his teeth chatter as if he's cold. And perhaps he thinks, if only this were night, not day, then I could sleep to the sound of the rain. An ant crawls slowly across a puddle. The boy helps it with a fallen leaf. Water clings to the roadside plants. Tiny drops fall from the youngest leaves. Grandfather says, "Let's head home now." They start walking again. Slowly, their bodies are tired, clothes soaked. The muddy road is messy and slippery, the boy says. "My feet are slipping," the girl says. "My hands are stiff from the cold." They walk back home in silence. A well appears in the distance. With trees around, Grandfather says, "Let's rest there for a while." They sit by the edge of the well. Water is drawn up with a rope and bucket. Mother splashes cool water on their faces. The touch of it feels soothing. A sparrow flutters and flies away. The leaves overhead are still wet. No one speaks. The rain says enough. The boy's eyes begin to droop. The girl rests her head on Mother's lap. Mother says, "You need a little sleep on days like this." Grandfather sits nearby, lost in quiet. Rain falls around them like a mist. Clouds hang low in the sky. Their clothes are damp and clinging. The boy curls up inside a shawl. His breathing deepens. The girl's eyes slowly close. Mother pulls a thin cloth over their shoulders. Both of them drift off into sleep. The field birds are silent for a while, then begin calling again from far away. A cow chews grass quietly, rain sliding down its back. Frogs croak faintly from the edge of the pond. You can't see the sky through the leaves. The boy's head has tilted to one side. The girl's lips hold the softest shadow of sleep. Mother sits still. Peace in her eyes, Grandfather says. This kind of nap brings real peace. The ground is cold. The shade is wet. The air completely still. A fly lands gently on Grandfather's shoulder. He waves it off slowly. The shadows shift beneath their feet to doves perch on a branch nearby. Suddenly, a flock of birds takes flight in the distance, and that was a rainy afternoon in Eureka Village. In the year 1810, they return home with tired bodies. They eat quietly without speaking much. Steamed rice and boiled potatoes in clay pots. Grandfather sits nearby. Mother serves them food, the boy says. I'm falling asleep while eating. The girl says, it's hard to keep my eyes open. Raindrops still fall on the tin roof after eating. Everyone falls silent. A woven mat is spread beside the wooden cot. They both lie down, their eyes slowly closing. Mother's voice says softly, sleep will come well with this rain. The rain grows heavier with time. The sky seems to open suddenly. Water crashes onto the roof. Leaves and yard inside the blanket. It's warm. but outside its cold rain falls harder, as if deepening their sleep time passes slowly. No one stirs after a while. The rain begins to quiet down. The sound fades, turning to slow, steady drops. Water drips from the edge of the tin roof. The light in the sky slowly begins to change. The girl opens her eyes and looks up beside her. The boy sleeps with a calm face. She sits up slowly. Feet touching the cool floor, grandfather still sits by the well like before. A drop of water trembles on the tip of a leaf. Mother says gently, "Wake up. It's already afternoon." The boy turns and buries his face in the quilt. The girl touches her damp hair half dry in the backyard. Wet clothes sway in the wind. A crow calls lazily in the distance, grandfather says. This afternoon feels frozen in time. Light peeks through the thinning clouds. A drop lands slowly in the well's water. The boy sits up and yawns quietly. The girl laughs. "You slept like a little baby," he replies. "It was a good nap," mother smiles. "On days like this, sleep feels right." The two of them walk quietly into the yard. The wet ground is cold beneath their feet. A cow stands solemnly near its post. A small cat scurries along the back wall. The sky in the distance glows faintly yellow. The pond lies still, interrupted only by a drop now and then. The girl says, "My feet might get stuck in the mud." Mother says, "Go slowly, don't slip." They tiptoe down the edge of the yard, Bird swoops down from a tree to the ground. The scent of wet earth fills their hearts. Water sits pooled on a jackfruit leaf. The boy touches it with his finger and giggles. The girl finds her doll in a corner of the room. Wet clothes are strung up on a rope to dry the bamboo grove. Whispers with gentle wind, the girl says. "My doll wants a new house," the boy says. "Let's build one for her." They pull a wooden box out from the corner, fill it with damp soil to shape a new little home. Twigs, leaves, and petals are placed carefully on a rainy day. Building a dollhouse feels special. A hanging fan spins gently near the window. Grandfather says, "No need to go to the fields today." The girl paints a tear on the doll's cheek. The boy asks, "Why is she crying?" She says, "Because she got soaked alone in the rain." Mother pulls a red shawl over them. Both a dove coos from the nearby tree. Footprints remain on the muddy courtyard. A flock of birds slowly takes off in the distance. The sky seems to come lower, closer. The boy says, "It feels like night is coming." The girl stays quiet, her eyes looking far. Mother's face shows signs of weariness. Her smile gentle, grandfather says, after the rain,
"Afternoons
bring the most peace." And over the courtyard of Uriker evening, shadows begin to fall in the year 1810. The room is a little dark inside. No more daylight enters through the windows, the boy asks. "Is night fully here now?" Grandfather replies, "It's only evening." True night comes slowly. The girl stands by the window, searching for the moon. Clouds still cover the sky. No stars visible. The water by the well feels colder now. Mother lights the lamp, a small flickering flame in the clay dish. Its glow is yellow, soft, gently trembling, the boy says. "Tell us a story in this light." Grandfather smiles. "Stories carry you to sleep." A folded mosquito net lies in the corner. Mother lifts it over the bed. Slowly, carefully, there's no wind. Just the occasional rustle of leaves. Lamp shadows quiver on the mud walls. The girl sits quietly, her doll in her lap. The boy wraps himself in an old shawl. Mother says, "Let's eat," then off to bed in bowls. Warm rice, lentils, and winter squash, a small quiet meal, no talk. Just presence. Grandfather eats slowly. His hands trembling, the smell of rain still lingers in the air. The girl sips water, it's already cold. The boy says, "Sleep is coming again," Mother says, "Then eat and lie down soon." After eating, the jute mat is rolled away. The doll is tucked into her little tin box. Leaf on her head, the lamp is placed on a small stool by the bed, Grandfather says. No story tonight. Her eyes are closing. The girl crawls under the net and lies down. The boy follows. Quiet beside her, mother pulls the quilt gently over them. At their feet lies the red metal box. The net glows gently from the flickering lamp. The boy whispers, "You fall asleep first." The girl replies, "Close your eyes first." A cat sits silently near the door inside the room. Grandfather walks over and bars the wooden door. Wind brushes against the leaves outside. One last raindrop falls from the roof's edge. The sky is dark now.
Starry.
The scent of earth soaked in rain, the The floor still holds its cool dampness. Mother's eyes to begin to close. The lamp flickers more softly than before. The scent of burnt stalks calms the mind in the yard. A cow sighs gently from the distant bamboo grove. A bird calls once, then silence. The girl's breath slows. Deep and peaceful, the boy turns to one side. Eyes half closed under the mosquito net. Only quiet breathing remains mother's voice. Soft. Sleep now. Both of you eyes closed, limbs curled. Grandfather sits by the bed, holding the girl's hand. He whispers, "Peace lies in this sleep. No wind moves above the roof. No shadows flicker. The light fades into perfect stillness. The doll sleeps in her box. It's quiet and alone. The moon has not come tonight only." The night itself, the girl silently closes her eyes. The boy drifts off into steady sleep. Mother places a lid over the lamp's mouth. The light dies out slowly, without a sound. The earthen room returns to its natural darkness outside night. Inside a kingdom of sleep, where breath is the only language, this sleep will one day become history, but the peace. It will remain in the walls, in the air. In the floor, new children will be born in this house one day, and sleep will return again. In the rhythm of rain, just like in 1810. And now, the story ends. But not the silence it leaves behind. Close your eyes one last time. Let the night carry you far, just like it did in the winter of 1810.
Hello, brother. If you enjoy the story, please consider subscribing.